What's the quickest way to climb a crazy steep climb on an e-bike? In the saddle or out of the saddle? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't actually know. So I guess the only way to find out is going to put some times in. But is it quite as straightforward as that? Now, you might have seen a recent feature that we did called the slab, where both me and Chris opted for the stood up position simply because it was a crazy angle and we simply had to get over the front of the bike to stop the front wheel from coming into the air. However, it was barely sustainable even for that short distance, right?
Yeah. You might have seen our colleagues on GCN also do some tests on some big hills, testing out that sitting down or standing to see what time difference it actually makes on those big climbs. The times are barely different actually on those. Yeah. So it's interesting to see what would differ on the e-bikes today.
Yeah, and like the Tour de France riders, Tour de France riders, some go for stood up.
Chris Froome's a lot, you know, sits down a hell of a lot on those big climbs.
But look, we're here in North Wales and it's not quite as simple as that. There's lots of factors to consider. First of all, it ain't road riding, so the surfaces are not smooth. A lot of the time we're climbing really technical terrain with varied surfaces, so it's really complicated, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's body weight changes, you say grip levels, body position, all those things to consider.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
So Chris, here's the incline.
And it's a big one. We've got a climbing rope in the middle, look.
Right, so we're going to put some times in, stood up and sat down. And it's simple as that, see what's fastest. First up, I'm on my high bike with a Yamaha motor. I'm in extra power mode, I'm in the easiest gear. So here we go, first up is sat down. Do I have to do this?
Go!
I think we need to point out as well is these climbs are not sustainable. I mean, first of all, you would never do that on a non-e-bike. To do that up to the top, that's crazy. That's pretty steep.
So I'm on my Canyon Spectral on. I've got Shimano E8000 motor. I've got SRAM Eagle cassette on the back as well, so a bit easier gearing than Steve's bike. So let's see if that makes a difference.
Okay, so count you in, Chris?
Yep, sat down first.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, God. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, super slippy where Steve's been cutting it up the whole way. What's up?
Were you blaming me then?
Yeah, the track's cut up to hell.
Am I going to go and do it again just to prove I haven't?
Yeah.
Come on, get your ass down here, let's do it again. Okay, second effort is going to be stood up. Obviously, when you stood up, you need to be really careful to choose the right gear because there's no way you're going to be switching gear when you're climbing a super steep incline. So it's all about planning ahead. Here we go then, steep climb.
3, 2, 1, go.
So you can be really careful when you've stood out the saddle because your weight's over the front, so you're losing grip. So your pedal strokes need to be smooth. Am I going to make this? I'm actually leaning back just to get some more weight. Ah, stop! I can feel myself having to lean my weight back just to keep the traction on a climb like that. And that is actually a good typical e-bike climb. Chris's turn on the Canyon. So here we go, Chris Smith on his second attempt on the incline in stood up mode.
Do you reckon second gear? Or did you go easiest gear?
Oh, Chris, controversial. Chris has opted for a harder gear. Is that allowed?
Maybe.
Is that allowed? Okay,
you go
Chris,
first gear?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Second climb, stood up. You right there, Josh? 3, 2, 1, go! God.
This is so slippy. Stop! Oh. That's horrendous. Right, you gotta give it a go again. Just show how cut up it is.
Toys are totally teetering on the edge of the cart. You want me to do it again?
Yeah, stood up.
So my colleague is very unhappy with the state of affairs. He blames me for cutting the track up and hence the slower time. So here we go. I'm going to give it another go. It's in the same gear.
Stood up.
Stood up. All
Stood
right.
up.
I really don't know what his whingeam's about. It's all about technique, Chris. What's the problem? What is your problem?
Let's do a bike swap.
What is your problem?
Bike swap.
It's technique.
No, bike swap.
Oh, bike swap now. We're going to be at midnight. Wow, pretty complicated. Body position, line choice, cadence.
Grip levels, so many different variables out there compared to the road bike guys, for sure.
Tyre pressure even.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I was running 24 PSI then.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit softer than that as well.
But you know what? That's a tricky climb. Even a short, punchy climb like that.
Yeah.
Because there's like loads of slate on there.
Yeah.
You've got. I found myself when I sat down, because got a big ass on the saddle, is obviously weighing down on that rear tyres, biting into the terrain. However, when I stood up, there's a tipping point, right?
Yeah, definitely.
If you go too far forwards, it starts spinning, but you could almost sort of
too far back.
You're going to be stood up and leaning back at the same time.
Fighting that gradient, staying on the power, keeping that momentum as well is hard.
But, you know, this is what e-bikes are for. Like they're not for climbing up fire roads or tarmac roads.
Yeah. Personally, I think I'd always try and attack a climb, sat in the saddle, weight, adjusting that weight. Every time I get out the saddle, it's probably for more of an extreme climb. If the grip levels were there, I would get out the saddle. But I think for me, sat down is the one, getting that grip in.
But look, this climb, look how far this climb goes.
Yeah, it's huge.
So you've got to be really careful, and you got to sort of you got to plan things on an e-bike, right?
Yeah.
However, the times are in.
Yep.
Chris, you got your first run, sat down. 18 seconds. And 5.50.
Right.
Stood up. 24.10.
A lot of wheel spin going on.
A lot of wheel spin.
And what was your time, Steve?
So on the sat down, I got a 17 seconds, 17.1, and then stood up 20.3.
Right.
So
sat down wins.
Sat down wins on this climb on this day. On these bikes.
Yeah, for sure.
So there you go. Chris really enjoyed that. Obviously because I won.
Yeah.
But I think we should do that again on another hill with different motors, different bikes.
Yeah.
I want to add as well that these, we did those times on these bikes. Geometry does affect as well how a bike climbs.
Definitely,
bikes with longer chainstays are going to be more capable of climbing than bikes with shorter chainstays where your weight's going to be forced over the back.
Yeah.
But there you go. If you want to see some more climbing videos, there's one how to plan your climb, which I did down here.
Don't forget also to check out Steve and Jess. How does weight affect range down here as well? It's a really cool video.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on this video. Leave your comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And subscribe to EMBN so we can bring you even more great videos.